What's up, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY in the overall market. Please note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And don't forget about the Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total, not to mention 8.1% APY on invested cash. Anyways, let's talk about something very important. So the market is currently in a very, very critical place. We have been seeing a lot of crazy price action, a lot of manipulation in these markets. Don't forget, we have a lot of puts expiring, and that's no surprise considering the fact that the market has been on an uptrend, and we're still uptrending right now. Now, some stocks like Tesla are still even more range bound than others because of the facts that we had some negative news, but overall, it's still holding well despite that. So, I'm going to talk more about that in just a minute. I just want to remind you all that we had the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report that came out at 10 a.m. Basically, consumer sentiment is at 69 on the scale. That's above expectations, not bad whatsoever. The 5-year inflationary expectations report is at 3.1%, very close to expectations, a little bit high. Consumer expectations are at 73, which isn't bad. And everything else was actually pretty close to expectations. What was good, though, is the inflationary expectations coming out for September are below the forecast. So that's a good piece of news. So everything I would say is like mixed. Some things were really good, some things were like not so good, but kind of in the middle. So not bad whatsoever. And the market had a very, very nuanced reaction. The market basically pumped, then dumped, and started pumping again. And this is what fueled the market to start pushing when this data came out. So since then, what's been happening? So Tesla is a little bit different from the market. It's not really pushing as much. We're just kind of stagnant, and I say that because SPY is up 0.5%, the QQQ is up 0.43%, but Tesla's up only 0.12%. When the SPY chart and QQQ are up 0.5%, Tesla should be up at least over 1% at the very least. Instead, we're only up about 0.1% because Tesla is a little bit lackluster today. And the reason for that is because we got some negative news. In case you guys missed my earlier video, we have a lot of these analysts coming out and they're talking about Tesla's deliveries for the third quarter. The report comes out on October 2nd, but they're saying that their estimates have been cut a little bit. They're saying Tesla may not do as well as what they initially expected. I went over specific numbers in my previous video, but I just want to make it very clear that's why Tesla's a little bit lackluster, just kind of range bound right now. So, what are the levels to watch for? It's very simple. Tesla has this resistance at 230. If 230 breaks, if we hold above the 230 area, the next resistance is closer to like 232. We're still stuck in the 230s as a range right now, so that's where we're kind of stuck right now. And if we end up failing to hold 230, the major support we have is at 228. And if that were to fail, we'd be going all the way down towards 226.5, towards our 50 EMA. Now, for the most part, Tesla's been very choppy, going back and forth and back and forth. We are still on an uptrend. If you look at the overall trend, we are still bullish technically on Tesla. We're making higher highs and higher lows. But like I said before, the thing about Tesla is that we haven't really broken this resistance. We're still shuffling in the 230 area. The next level above that's like around 232, which isn't as strong resistance. The stronger resistance is going to be around 235. But for now, we're just chopping a bit. I think the market pushing is helping Tesla attempt to push a little bit higher. But like I said, it's not really that big of a move. For the most part, we're just kind of choppy. We're just stuck in this range. So that's likely what Tesla is going to continue to do for most of the day. So it's very unfortunate. Hopefully next week we get a better move with FOMC coming up. So it's going to be huge. So until then, just be very patient with Tesla. It's very choppy right now, not so fun to like day trade. But just know there's not really a whole lot else going on unless we try to break 232. For SPY, okay, this is very tricky. So this was very wild today. If you look at the price action, let me show you on the 5-minute time frame. So when you look like this was crazy. So this is what SPY was doing. We saw this when we opened, we got this big push. And then this is when our data came out right over here. We pumped a point, dumped a point, and then we came back up. And then since then, we've been slowly trying to push higher. And we've been shuffling in the 562 area, going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Now, to turn bullish, you want to break past 563. If we break and hold above that, we're going to really remain bullish. And there's going to be a nice push after that. And if we're bearish, you want to see this basically reject and lose 561.5. If that fails, we'd be dipping all the way down to 561. But like I said before, we're just completely choppy right now. We're kind of going back and forth and back and forth. This is not necessarily an abnormality considering it's a Friday. The market's known for doing this. So I think it's not really that great to trade SPY as of right now. It's just kind of choppy if you're like a scalper like me. I did scalp and I took profits during the pump. I was anticipating a bit of a pump, and then I stepped away since then. I haven't been trading much since then. I only traded for like 1 hour today. So with that being said, I think SPY is going to continue to chop around. If we hold above 562 for at least an hour, I do think there is some potential for us to try to get closer to 563. But like I said before in my earlier videos, the range we're in is a little bit riskier for SPY. We're getting closer to the all-time high, and I think we could end up approaching it. But that may not happen until like next week. So for now, we're just going to continue to shuffle. The last hour of the day may be even more volatile. So we'll have to wait for that. Until then, we're just kind of chopping around 560, not really doing much. For Nvidia, I said this might dip a little bit, then try to rebound into like the 120 area. Low and behold, we did dip down to 118, only to bounce back up. And we're just choppy right now, stuck between 118 and 120. It is possible we break out higher, but we're still range bound, so give it some time. For Bitcoin, we are a little bit more bullish looking. I like this trend. We have a nice looking accumulation structure right here. If we hold above 58,700, we're looking for a bigger push all the way up towards 60,000. If we reject and start losing support, especially at 57,600, we could be dipping back down to lower levels, especially if 57,000 breaks. But right now, Bitcoin looks a little bit more bullish to me, and I think this could get closer to 60,000. As long as we hold above 58,700, we look pretty good. So Bitcoin looks a bit more bullish. We'll see if support holds. So far, so good from coin. For let me just double check this. For NQ, we look a little bit more bullish. This resistance around this 19,500 area is just barely breaking. If we manage to hold above that for at least by the 4 hour close, I think we will be pushing closer to this higher level up here. If not, our support's down here around 19,200. However, it's not that fun to trade. It's very choppy right now, so it's not really doing much. The QQQ is looking a little bit stronger, though. This is pushing higher. So I said if we hold above 473, we're looking for 475 as the next level. As you could tell, we ended up going up there. If 475 breaks, we're going to be pushing all the way up to 477 and then eventually the 480 area. If we lose or reject off 475, we're looking for 473, followed by 470. As of right now, we're a little bit more bullish looking in terms of our trend, but we are kind of choppy up here at 475. So I have to give it some time to develop. I'm going to be very patient with that as well. Apple did a good job, but we're still kind of choppy. Once again, it's a Friday. This is no surprise. We had 224 our key level. If we break through that, we could push higher. If not, we could be dipping, and we're just kind of consolidating. So give it some time. For the IWM, we look more bullish. I mentioned to everyone that if we had broken 214, the next level's at 216.6. That's exactly where we ended up going to. And then if that breaks, we're looking for 217.68. If we reject off 216.6, we could be retesting 214.8 and eventually the 214 area. As of right now, the IWM is looking very bullish. I said that we may have bottomed at 204, and that's what's happened so far, at least for a temporary bottom. And we look bullish. It's still pushing up very, very nicely. I'm going to go over just like 5 more. For Coinbase, this looks bullish. As long as we, like I said before, as long as we hold 160, we're looking for 169 as our potential targets. We do have resistance at 167, so if that breaks, we're looking for 169. It looks more bullish, doing a good job. Amazon's more bullish looking. We're looking at 188 as resistance. If that breaks, we're looking for 190. If you reject it, we could be dipping down to like 186, but we look more bullish. For Meta looks more bullish. I think that we have this resistance over here. We have 525 as our support and 530 as our resistance. If 525 breaks, we're looking for basically 520. And if we hold above this support, we could be pushing higher. So we'll see how things end up going. For Microsoft, one thing that's worth noting is we have a double, not necessarily a double bottom, but more like a higher low that was made. I think it's better to say it that way. So that's why the trend turned more bullish. But I said in the morning that this was looking kind of like choppy to me. So that's exactly what happened. So not choppy. I'm sorry. I mean range bound, not choppy. We're range bound on this. So if we had lost 425, we'd be looking for 420. And if we break 430, we will turn more bullish. I think the trend is a bit more bullish, but we're still in this range right now between 425 and 430. We're going to likely continue to just be stuck like this unless 430 breaks. But for now, I see it just being range bound. Google broke my target. I was talking about 157. I said if this broke, we're looking for basically 160. Came just short of that. If we do continue to hold above 157, we could eventually get up to like almost 160. But like I said before, this is also range bound, very similar to Microsoft. So we'll see if 157 holds. It might just consolidate for now, so we'll give it even more time. Anyways, that's it for my analysis. The market is trying to push a little bit higher. I think that there is potential in it. Tesla's trying to play a game of catch up, but it's still kind of shuffling, right? We're not making a big move. We're just still shuffling in the 230 area. To really see this thing push, you want to break 232 and 235. Haven't done that yet, so we're still in this range for Tesla. So give it some time. Let's hope Tesla eventually breaks out, but for now, I just see it being range bound, so we'll give it the time it needs. Anyways, that's it for my analysis. I hope you guys found value in this. I'll be back in a couple of hours to give you guys another update. That's all I'm seeing for the market for now, so give it the time it needs. By the way, as long as we hold above key supports and SPY in the QQQ, we could push a little bit higher, but for now, we are still range bound. There is more upside potential, but we're just range bound. Just wanted to clarify that. Anyways, have a good day, guys. I'll see you guys very soon, and peace out.